What's up, everybody? Good morning. Welcome to a Tuesday edition of Morning Scone, presented by Brock, Baton Rouge Orthopedic Clinic. Hope you're all having a good morning so far, as always. Like and share, and please like the Brock page as well. They're tagged in this post, as always. So, we still wait for LSU to get back on the practice field. No practice yesterday. No practice today. So they practiced 4 days last week. They gave them off Monday, Tuesday. So they practiced Thursday, Friday, Saturday, Sunday. Took off Monday, Tuesday. They'll practice tomorrow afternoon. They'll practice Thursday. They'll also practice Friday morning, early after, like a 1:15, 1:30, I think, Friday. And then they depart for New Orleans. They'll arrive at the Marriott 6 o'clock. If for those in New Orleans who are interested, LSU set to arrive at the Marriott Friday 6 o'clock. That's our team hotel in Marriott on Canal. So they're set to arrive there at 6 o'clock on Friday. Saturday is the media day for the college football playoff media day, or the championship media day. And Saturday they will have a walkthrough, and then Sunday they'll have a walkthrough. Monday it is game day. So get into it. In the meantime, everybody else is having a lot of draft decisions. That's what I put there in the headline. Found out yesterday Sam Ehlinger will return to Texas. That's not a huge surprise, but that means that next year, week 2, when Texas is in Baton Rouge, they'll have Ehlinger. So they'll have a veteran quarterback, and also their left tackle Samuel Cosme announced he's returning as well, so that's significant because LSU will play Texas next year. Tua bounces, not surprising. Even with the hip injury, the general consensus on Tua is that he's still going to be a top 10 pick, and I don't think he gets past 5 with Miami. I mean, it's hard for me to imagine that happening. So, so far 8 players from Bama have announced, 5 leaving, 3 staying. So Saban still is getting some guys to stay. Getting Dylan Moses to stay is big. Getting Alex Leatherwood, your left tackle, to stay is big to protect whoever the new quarterback is. Getting Devontae Smith back, who led the team in touchdowns this year, is obviously big. You have a weapon, but you lose Judy and Ruggs. So, I'm sorry. You lose Judy and Ruggs. You get Waddle and Smith back. So, all right, let's say some good mornings here. Hey, Jeff McKithen, what's up, man? Jason Truex, Casey Smith, Brandon Scott. Good morning, good morning, good morning. Pat Huseman, good morning. Leroy Blanchard, Nancy Vogt, Stephen Beach, Sam Dixon. What's up, everybody? John Schneider, Kevin Gleason. Et tu, Joel. Excuse me, Chase Pellegrin, good morning. I'm going to hit the share button here. Hopefully everyone will do the same. Remember, sharing is caring. So share. Craig Schilling, what's up, my dude? Matthew Pittman, hey, Dad, good morning. Matthew Rogelio, Brock rocks. Kevin Gleason loves him some Brock. I do too, Kevin. Hey, Lenny, good morning. Lenny's across the street. Andrew Bayer, Mike Gravois, Megan Hurst, Derek Morales. What's up, Derek Morales? Good morning, dude. Let's see, Kevin Gleason, what color uniforms are they wearing? So that was announced yesterday. Clemson's going to wear all orange. Orange helmets, orange jerseys, orange pants. And LSU wear their traditional gold, white, gold. So as the 1 seed, LSU is the home team. And they got to choose what jersey combo they wanted to wear. So LSU will wear, obviously, its traditional uniform. Incidentally, the last 4 national champions have all been wearing white. Right? Isn't that interesting? So, odd, but true. So, we'll take it. I just don't think the color of the uniform matters at all. I mean, I'm glad LSU's wearing their traditional, of course, but... Excuse me. Let's see. Aaron Fontaine, morning, Scone, fellow Scone heads. Hope everyone's doing well. Go Tigers. See, I like Scone heads. Like cone heads, but Scone heads, I like it. Like it. Adrian Jean. Cajuns look good, Matt. Saw they won last night, so that's 11 wins for the University of Louisiana at Lafayette. Played 14 games, but still, get to 11. That's nice. I assume Billy Napier provided he doesn't jump sometime in the second cycle of the silly season. I assume because the carousel, the coaching carousel, always spins again once the NFL season ends and you get new coaching hires, right? Because if you end up having guys jump from college to the pros, then you have to fill college vacancies. So, theoretically, if Lincoln Riley were to jump to the NFL, I know the Cowboys hired Mike McCarthy, but if Lincoln Riley jumped to the NFL for a job, well, someone's got to fill the Oklahoma job, and that creates a domino effect, right? Because then someone's got to take the Oklahoma job, and whoever takes that job, then their position has to be filled, and so on. Dylan Landry, good morning. Stephen Miller, good morning, dude. Brad Crowder, Chad Nelson. Matt, do you think the NCAA football officiating is better than NFL officiating? Seems to be less controversy with college referees. The thing that I think college has a more simplified rule book, which absolutely matters. I wish that the two would sort of merge a little bit. And the other thing too is you have you don't have the challenge process in college football. Coaches can ask for a review. They can call a timeout, ask for a review. If they grant the review, they get their timeout back. But it's not as anxiety driven as to whether or not you should call for a review or not. Because if a play is close and they want to review it, the booth will review it. That's how it should be. And that's why you don't have a ref missing a call and then a coach having to choose whether or not to throw a challenge flag, or if he doesn't have a timeout, he can't challenge it. You know what I mean? That's how a lot of those instances are bred. And you also have, conference officials. So, I think what the SEC did in instituting their command center for replay was very smart. I don't see any point at all in having an NFL official on the field looking at a Surface tablet the size of the one I have right here with blinders on it, trying to look at a replay, when someone in a command center can have it on a 100-inch projector screen, a 20-foot projector screen in a command center like they have in Birmingham for the SEC office. I mean, it's in that respect, I think some of the colleges have done it better. Yeah, the conferences have done it better. Joseph Guidry, Keith Rosenbach, James Reed, Gavin Blanchard, Deborah Todd, good morning. Preston Landry, Stephen Miller, morning, bud. Breaking out the Arkansas Red, LOL. Erica got this for me for, I can't remember if she got this for Christmas or she just bought it. So it's like a thermal here. I don't know if you can tell, but this part of the shirt is thermal, and this part is like just cotton. The sleeves are just cotton. So she asked me to wear it today. I was like, okay. I seldom buy clothes for myself. Usually it's Erica buying. There are instances, like I mentioned to y'all, had a couple of events in November, December, went to Carriages, bought a sport coat, bought a few dress shirts, a necktie, some slacks. But in that instance, I'll go to them and be like, all right, here's what I need. Help me. And they'll give me some options. I'll tell them what I like. So, but Erica bought this for me. She was like, hey, wear that red sweater. I was like, okay. So, red sweater. Let's see. Charlie Cavell, Jason Bourgeois. Let's see, Matt, the Saints are officially finished and their facilities cleared out. Does that mean one of the teams would use for practice? Maybe. I doubt it, though, because remember, Pat, they're not there for a week. The teams arrive on Friday, practice and LSU's practicing in Baton Rouge on Friday. So LSU's going to have media day and a practice in the Dome on Saturday. Again, you want to practice in the Dome for sight lines and footing. Then you have your walkthrough in the Dome on Sunday, and then you play the game Monday. So if they were there for a full week, you'd probably see that, but they're not, so they're not. Chris Olivia, good morning. Jason Tarver, Matt, good freaking morning. Glad to see you're excited, Jason. All right, Andrew Bayer, good morning. Do you ever get an uneasy feeling about the game? Everybody seems awfully confident. It's a little unnerving. So, Andrew, I think both sides are like that. Remember, Clemson's won 29 in a row. their fans are very confident about this game as well, and with good reason. They haven't lost a game in 2 years. When you get on a run like that, you feel like you're never going to lose. And they have a guy that'll be the first pick in the draft next year, and they've got a running back that averages 8 yards a carry. They got a couple of future first-round picks at receiver, and they should feel confident. For me, I think the thing that breeds the most confidence, two things. One, the schedule LSU's played. Obviously, they're just more battle tests. They faced better teams and skunked them. And watching Clemson score 29 against Ohio State, I mean, I know LSU is going to score 40 in this ballgame because they score 40 on everybody. So LSU is going to score 40. And if Ohio State held Clemson to 29, I think LSU, you give Dave Aranda 2 weeks to prepare for that and give Trevor Lawrence some odd looks and generate some pressure on him. I mean, yeah, I think LSU can replicate what Ohio State did. Remember, Ohio State had chances in that game to put Clemson away early, and they didn't. They had some red zone opportunities where they settled for field goals. Hell, they had the ball. Ohio State had the ball at the end of the game with a chance to go win it, and Fields throws a pick. So, either way, 29 ain't going to be enough to beat LSU. And I think LSU can hold Clemson under 30. And if they do, even if I say, all right, I'll grant you 20, I'll grant you a touchdown a quarter, 28 points. You get a touchdown a quarter, Clemson. You're losing that game by 2 touchdowns. So that Clemson is. So, all right, Steven. Okay, ask Matt. Taysom Hill gets a starting job when Breeze gets hurt this year. What's the Saints' record during the 5 games he starts? It's interesting. Let's see. I want to go back and look at the schedule. It was Seattle, Dallas. Look that up again. Okay. All right. So Seattle, Dallas, Tampa, at Jacksonville, and at the Bears. Okay. They probably don't win in Seattle. The Cowboys was a 12-10 game, so I'd assume they win that one. They won at home against the Bucs 31-24. They won in Jacksonville 13-6, another defensive game. And then they blew out the Bears, if you remember. That was a game where the Bears had 80 yards of offense with 4 minutes to go, and then they scored, onside kick scored, and it was like, hey, come on. Anyway, 3-2, maybe 4-1. The thing that I think is the unknown therein, and remember, during that stretch, the Saints defense played their best football. Like I pointed out, they beat the Cowboys 12-10 and the Jags 13-6. So, and then the Bears, that 36-25 is super deceiving because the Bears had 80 yards of offense with 4 minutes to play in the ballgame. But hi, buddy. Hi. What are you doing? You come and see Daddy? Nope, he gone. I was looking at Bridgewater's interception. So Bridgewater threw 9 touchdowns and 2 picks. The thing that I'd be concerned about with Taysom would be the unknown. To answer your question, Stephen, would be turnovers potentially. Those are all. It's always the great equalizer. So, lack of playing time when you start seeing an NFL defense that's got a week to scheme for you and know they're playing you. Do they confuse you and force you into turnovers? That's, I think, the unknown. Kelly Gross, James Tyrone, good morning. Keith Rosenbach, do you expect the Saints to make any major jumps in the draft for anyone specific or specific position needs? So, Keith, during the Peyton Loomis era, the Saints always move up, they never move back. So, do I expect them to at some point in the draft? Yes, because they move up at some point in every draft. If you're talking about in round 1, maybe, but it depends on who's available and if there's a position that they like that they're willing to jump up for. And that really just all determines or depends on how the draft is playing out, because there's always surprises. There's always guys that you think are going to be high picks that drop. So that is at this point, I think, an impossibility to predict. Like, I don't think many of us predicted they'd move up 10 spots or whatever it was a couple of years back to get Marcus Davenport. I was glad they did it. I in the draft, I just tend to subscribe to the belief that if there's a player you like and you're bullish on him, go get him. Because if he hits, no one's ever going to remember what you gave up to get it. You know what I mean? Like, no one's ever going to be like, man, I'm glad he's an all-pro, but I wish we had that extra third-rounder, you know? So, that extra third-round pick, which you could hit on, but you never know. So, I guess I'm good with their philosophy, being aggressive and going up. If there's a player they like, go get him. Alexander Diaz, Ben Giat, good morning. Steve in Miami of Ohio, plus 15.5, bro. God bless you, man. Betting on all them games, dog. I mean, I like to throw a few dollars every now and again, make it interesting, but I'm not getting interested in ULL in Miami of Ohio. Joshua Crisp, all orange, huh? They wanted to make it easier for the most accurate passer in NCAA history to spot the defenders. Or hunting season. We go hunting season analogies. If you're just joining us, Clemson is wearing all orange in the game. They announced it on their Twitter, so they're, head to toe all orange. Kelly Presley, good morning. Cheryl Wilkes, good morning. Charlie Cavell, kudos to Billy Napier and the Cajuns. Huge for that program. Jason Bourgeois, hey Matt, need you to push for CHS to let school out early Monday. They pushed the start time on Tuesday to 9:06 instead of 7:30. That's smart, I would say. But man, if school lets out at 2:30, you got plenty of time to get down to New Orleans if you're going. Brant Fowler, Kirk Taylor, what's up? Stephen Miller, hot dog, hot diggity dog. It's finally under 7 days until kickoff. Yeah. Can y'all hear the Mickey Mouse Club out? Drew's watching Mickey Mouse in the other room. I don't know if you could hear that. 6 days, man, I'm ready. So we will be in New Orleans, hanging with Hester AFR Friday. Location still TBD. Likely specialty programming Saturday and Sunday. Again, still TBD. It's like we're getting kind of close now. And Monday, all of our shows, Champion Square, 7 a.m. to 6 p.m. Andrew, has the PI rule for college been the same all year for PI in the end zone? PI in the end zone, ball placed on the 2-yard line. All the same all year? Yeah, they didn't change it. Charlie Cavell, LSU, Tech, ULL, Tulane, Nichols, SOU, Southeastern, all with outstanding football seasons. Do you think doing consolidated camps with state schools has any correlation? I don't know if the consolidated camps has mattered. I think what you have are really good coaching hires. Skip Holtz at Tech has been a really good hire. Billy Napier, obviously, is a really good hire. Willie Fritz, really good hire. Tim Rebo has done an amazing job. You know what I mean? So I think that's probably more so the reason. Like, you've just had a run where the in-state schools have hired really good coaches, simultaneously. And I've always said, like, I'll maintain you should always be able to win in Louisiana if you just recruit Louisiana. I mean, you can recruit Louisiana, East Texas, and get the recruits that LSU or the Power 5 isn't going to offer. Keep them in state, and you can win, man. There's enough talented players in the state. What, bud? What? You going to abilities? Oh, yeah? Okay. All right, we'll see you later. Okay. No big truck. It's amazing. We did a truck-themed birthday party for that kid. Now he's terrified of trucks. Weird. Shout out to Brock, everybody. Baton Rouge Orthopedic Clinic, our title sponsor here on Morning Scone. We appreciate them as always. 5 locations in the greater Baton Rouge area, as Kevin Gleason will remind you every day here. Brock rocks. They're tagged in the post, so if you could like the Brock page, it's a huge help. And, if you're Tua and you have a hip injury, you can go see Kevin Riche or Ricardo Rodriguez over at Brock. When my mom had her hip surgery, Ricardo Rodriguez did it. I had my knee surgery, went to Brock, Chip Bankston did it. So, team doctors out at LSU, Brent Bankston and Mark Fields, and so man, they got some dudes over there, man, and some gals. So y'all go see our friends over at Brock, Baton Rouge Orthopedic Clinic. Blake Dayrees, what's up? Derek Minto, would you cut Kamara or give him money? Don't know about contract situation. What position would you draft? You absolutely pay Alvin Kamara. Like, in-house, they know. Kamara had knee and ankle injuries this year. Like, there's a reason he didn't look like himself. He wasn't healthy. So, good on him for playing through it. He'll get healthy and be back next year, hopefully looking more like his usual self. But I agree they need a complementary piece. And, they signed Latavius Murray, and I guess my hope is that they would have leaned on Murray a little more this year than they did. I just don't think he got the reps that he needed to really make an impact. And Derek said, what position would you draft? It depends on who's available. You have to get a number 2 wide receiver. I think you're going to let Andrus Peat walk, so you have to make a decision if Nick Easton is your guy at guard to replace Peat. If not, you need to draft an offensive guard. You need an interior lineman. So, be it in free agency or the draft, you've got to get a wide receiver, an offensive guard, and then you've got this glut at the defensive backfield where you got to decide what you're going to do. You're gonna pay Von Bell, but are you keeping Marcus Williams around? You've got to make a decision on Eli Apple and on Janoris Jenkins. So you got P-Rob hanging around and P.J. Williams. I mean, you got some decisions, some personnel decisions to make in that secondary because you got a lot of bodies, and it's a matter of who are you keeping and who are you cutting loose. I think you're good at linebacker. Great at linebacker. And when healthy, I think you're solid on the defensive line too. You got some really good production this year from guys like Shai Tuttle and Taylor Stallworth, who you maybe didn't expect the production that you got, which gives you really good depth behind Onyemata and Rankins, and Davenport will come back healthy next year. And of course, you still got Cam Jordan. Even Trey Hendrickson played well toward the end of the season. So you went 13-3. You went 13-3, man. Like, it's not like your roster needs to be gutted and reassembled. You were 13-3. You had a great season. You just picked an awful time to play a crappy game. Tim Saunier, good morning. Sherry Flanagan, good morning. Ronnie Dugard, Jason Truex. What does a walkthrough technically consist of? How's it different than a practice? It's shorter, so usually your walkthrough might be like an hour, and you're not hitting. You're not going with pads. It's like final game plan, making sure you have all your position groups. A lot of time you'll do sequencing. So, like situational football. So, like, you might actually faux run out of the tunnel to your sideline, and then you'll go through a game sequence, like kickoff team, and you'll have them stand right there and run out to the field, walk through a kickoff and come out. All right, defense, maybe they do a couple plays out. Punt team, so you just run through, like, the sequencing of a game. Quick, again, no pads, just to make sure everybody's done all of that before, know where to stand and what unit to come out with when their name's called, all that sort of stuff. Brian Wynn, what's up? Ken Conrad, what's up? Eric Hart, what's up? Kirk Taylor, ULL, 11-3 and unranked. Sad. No, it's not. They play in the Sun Belt. They're not one of the 25 best teams in college football. They play in the Sun Belt. Hi. Larry Smith, what's up, Matt? I think LSU wins by at least 14. Okay. Hope you're right. Sean Pumphrey, Jason Aguilar, Don Jolibois. Jason Aguilar, morning, Scone, start over. What?
Mommy.
Did we go for a ride in Mommy's new car to Walgreens? We did go in Mommy's new car to Walgreens, my boy. Yes, we did. It's nobody. Matthew Daigle, do you think Divinity makes an impact for the championship game? Literally any snaps make an impact because it provides you depth and situational opportunities. My answer is yes, Matthew. I think, Ogeron even said that Divinity will start in dime packages. So if you think about it, if you're in dime, which means you got 6 defensive backs on the field, it means you have 3 down linemen and 2 inside backers. Divinity's one of those guys. Either in that rush package with Chasson and Divinity on the outside, and then you put Queen and Phillips in the middle, and then maybe like Lawrence or Fahoko at the nose, a more athletic guy at the nose. I mean, if Clemson's in an obvious passing down, you want an extra defensive back on the field, and you want to try to get pressure with 3. I want him on the field. I think he can make an impact in that respect, yeah. And even if it's just giving you depth, even if it's just allowing you to rotate to keep guys fresh on that defense. A guy that can play inside and out. Yeah, I do. A senior playing his last game in his home city in the national championship game after sitting for 6 games, so he's fresh as well. Yeah, I think so. Let's see, Joe Ed Kettner, good morning from Shreveport. What's up, Port City? Eric Hart, my only concern for this game is how the national championship went last year with Bama against Clemson. Bama had an unstoppable offense last year. It didn't go well. I'm just saying I'm going into this game confident in a win, but not overly boasting. So the difference, Eric, is the most notable difference. Tua had a bum ankle, and Clemson had an NFL defensive line. That's the biggest difference. And that Clemson defensive line just dominated the game. They had 4 guys go in the first round. All those guys are gone. It's just a different group this year. It's not to say they're bad, but just different. Adam Cottrell, good morning. Drew Hurst, Kyle Larison, and also, Eric, I'll tell you this, man. That result last year in the championship game, while not flukish, if you simulate that game 100 times, you get that result 5 times. It's just the one that popped up in the championship game. It's the crazy part about a one-game winner-take-all instead of a series, right? Sometimes you might get the crazy result, but that's the only one that matters. It's not to say Clemson wasn't deserving. They were. They're very good. And they dominated that football game. But the single biggest difference in Clemson's team from a year ago to this year is that defensive line. I mean, all those guys like Cleveland Farrell and Lawrence, and I mean, they're all gone. So, okay. PK Smith, good morning. LSU 49, Clemson 21. It is funny though, man. LSU fans are picking a landslide. Terry Shipman seems like forever between SEC Championship to Peach Bowl to Natty. So that was the shortest amount of time, I think, ever for LSU from end of season to bowl game. And then this is the longest teams have had to wait from semis to national championship. But it only feels that way, Terry, because you're excited and you're anxious. Like, you didn't think of it last year because your team wasn't in it, so you didn't care. You were just waiting for it to come around. You're not following the news around it every single day, like staring at the clock. That's why it feels like it's forever. Mark Lacey, what's up? If you're just joining us, please hit the share button if you've not done so yet. And also, please like Brock. They're tagged in the post right there. So please like the Brock page. Appreciate you. John Schneider, the DC for Clemson is the best, in my opinion. But without an elite front line, I just can't see them getting better pressure than Bama or Auburn. They are Georgia defense with a better offense. I don't know either, LOL. Brent Venables really good. Brent Venables also wasn't really good at Oklahoma when they started running a tempo offense and going really fast. And not that dissimilar from how people feel about Aranda right now. But I like Brent Venables. Good DC. But we've heard the same about Kirby Smart and Todd Grantham and Nick Saban and everybody else LSU's faced this year. Let's see. Wish you could have argued with the guy more yesterday. Good radio. Are you talking about the Pittsburgh Steeler guy? I gave him 5 minutes. I was moving on. If you missed it, you can go listen. I think it was an hour 2. The guy called. He says he's in his late 40s. Said the prime of his life was he was 7, 8, 9 years old because he was a Steeler fan in the 70s. I was like, "Oh, so you're a front runner?" He's like, "Yeah." Oh, no. I just kind of owned him a little bit. It was fun though. It was really fun. Pamela Box, Kenny Bergeron, Mark Lacey, Jason. Trump is going to attend the Natty. Huge security. It's going to take a while to get in the dome. Trump is pulling for LSU. He might be pulling for LSU. But if you are going, plan accordingly. Because if you've ever been to a sporting event where the president attends, it is cumbersome getting in. So be aware. Kevin Gleason, remember, if you have an accident over the weekend after hours or whenever, Brock, their after hours clinics are the bomb. Plus, you're in some of the best hands in the state. Good point, Kevin. It's very true. So I did want to hurt my knee. I didn't go ER. I went to the after hours clinic at Brock. Andrew Bear. For some reason, I thought PI, even in the end zone, was still a 15-yard penalty. Half the distance went inside the red zone. Obviously living under a rock. Maybe just too much whiskey during the games. Maybe so. Could be it. Which is okay, by the way. Deborah Todd. See Mark Field for shoulder. He's the best. Dr. Field is the LSU baseball team doc. He's phenomenal. Hey, my dad said Gramps is going to Brock today. It's my grandfather. All right. Wait, Gramps, go get you some Brock. Josh Richard. Is Dr. Winder still at Brock? He is. I did an interview with Dr. Winder. I did sort of a series in the summer, maybe July, August, before football season, where I interviewed about a half dozen Brock docs over there and talked to him about different specialties. I talked to Dr. Winder about the high school football clinic. They do the free Friday night clinic and have for years over at Brock. But yeah, so I talked to Dr. Winder then. You can probably go back on my page and find that interview with him. 5-6 minutes we're talking about. Andrew Murray didn't look bad sometimes as the power back. Wish would have seen more reps. Agreed. Charlie, Kiko Alonso's done. I'm just curious. So if y'all missed it, Alonso tore his ACL. Reports Kiko Alonso tore his ACL. It's his third ACL tear of his NFL career. So sometimes guys just decide they're done and they don't want to rehab it again. I'm curious what he'll do. Guy who's battled a lot of injuries. I liked him a lot in this defense. It showed when they played San Francisco, not having Alonso and A.J. Klein, some more versatile linebackers where you needed to cover in space near the line of scrimmage. I would have really liked if I had Kiko Alonso in that game in particular. But, man, we'll see what he elects to do. He's got 1 year left on his contract. Alonso does at about $6 million, but it's not guaranteed. So there's no dead cap money. Basically, if the Saints cut him, he doesn't count at all against the salary cap. So, I mean, I think obviously you bring him back. If he wants to rehab it, you bring him back, let him give it a go, see if he can make the team. Chad Nelson, seems Clemson fans think their DC will have a plan to fool Burrow. I've heard it all before. Chad, I just heard it, man. I mean, we heard the same thing about Florida, and we heard the same thing about Auburn and Kevin Steele, and we heard the same thing about Georgia and Saban and Bama. We've heard it from everybody, and it's just Burrow is just playing at a different level than everybody else. I mean, the biggest tell was after the Georgia game when Burrow said, I don't even know why I bother watching film because everybody we play is like they're not doing anything defensively that we study on film, which basically tells you everybody LSU played has come into the game with a different game. They basically created a new defensive game plan, and Burrow is figuring it out on the fly. He's beating them on the fly, like figuring it out as the game goes along. I mean, whatever. Sometimes no matter what you do, if my guys are better than yours, we're just going to win. You know what I mean? Stephen Robeek, what's up, my dude? Let's see, do the people think that Taysom should be the heir apparent, just not know football, or they see something I don't? I think it's exciting. You see the versatility of guys like Lamar Jackson. I think, okay, Taysom Hill could be that. The things that worry me about Taysom, I know we talked about this yesterday. Number one, he's injury. First of all, he's almost 30, and he's injury prone. He was hurt every year at BYU. I don't know if it's sustainable if he's playing that style of ball for 70, 80 snaps a game over 16 weeks. And I just don't think he's a good enough passer, honestly. Do you think Deontay Harris plays more snaps at wide receiver next year? I hope not, EJ. Honestly, I hope they they supplement that wide receiver group and get better there. Everett email, Kerry Hughes, good morning. Kevin Gleason, so you're thinking LSU doesn't win by 14? Lions 5.5. I mean, I think they certainly can. But I also do recognize that Clemson has the type of offense like Bama does, with a dynamic quarterback, an elite running back, pros at receiver, to where they can score too. With 2 weeks to prepare, if they push all the right buttons, they can blow and go too offensively. And so you could see 42-38 type game. I wouldn't be surprised to see that at all. Rami Kasem, good morning. Hey, E-Rock, good morning. Brady Beacom. Kirk Taylor, ask E-Rock. Fire away. Just hijack the comments. Kevin Gleason, E-Rock won with a cold spell. Go away. What's the spread at less than a week out? It's 5.5. So LSU 5.5 point favorite. Kerry, not sure this has been discussed. I'm no follower of recruiting, but thoughts on potential of getting the Georgia running back. Kerry, I spoke to Shea Dixon yesterday on AFR. We talked a good bit about that. So if you want to go back and check out that interview on demand, feel free. But such a strange recruitment. But it seems like it's LSU or Texas A&M. But then again, it seemed like it's been a half dozen different things throughout the process. So we'll just wait and see. Joseph Manzella, good morning. Josh Long, do you think Jordy will get POTUS on OTB? Doubtful. If anybody could do it, it would be Terrio for guest picker. Because oddly enough, last year, Terrio came this close to getting George W. Bush for the Bama game. I mean, like that close. He was in with W's media coordinator and had the request. I mean, it was basically at the doorstep where Bush either says where W either said yes or no, and something came up where he had to be somewhere and couldn't, but it was going to be a yes. It was going to be a yes. We were this close last year to having George W. Bush on AFR as the guest picker for the Friday before the Bama game. That would have been awesome. I don't care what your politics are, to get a former president of the United States, that would have been awesome. And I think just personally as a dude, I think he's a cool dude. I'd like to hang out with that guy, Let's see. Kirk Taylor, likely good of having a beer with you and Jordy after the Natty. Likely good of chance of? Depends where we're going to be. I'm down, Kirk, for sure, man. Depends where we're going to be. Because the game will end and then we'll have post-game. Hopefully, LSU wins, and then you have a very long extended post-game responsibility where it's all the confetti and everything. It's the trophy presentations, then it's the post-game locker room, and then it's the clear. So, I mean, when they win, your post-game media responsibilities extend an hour and a half, sometimes beyond that. Jason, who do you think should getting kickoff returns? Chase? I think Stingley should get kickoff. Palmer should get punts. I'd be okay putting Trey Palmer back there for punts. I just think, and Stingley's dynamic too, though, man. I mean, I'm good with either of them. Just put someone fast and athletic back there. Chase did it in the Oklahoma game with Clyde injured. Robert Gremion, hey Lolita, good morning, Mimi Lolita. So Lolita, who's watching right there, that was Drew's primary nighttime nurse in the NICU. For 9 months, that lady watched Drew. I mean, my goodness. 6 nights a week. Probably if we averaged it out. That's Drew's Mimi Lolita. We go to Houston, we see Mimi Lolita. She and some of Drew's other primary nurses come and visit for his birthday every year. They come from Houston. Special lady, man. Love you, Mimi Lolita. Hope you're having a good day. Happy New Year. Jeffrey Jones, what are the chances LSU dominates Clemson? Is it possible LSU wins by 2 scores? Possible, sure. I mean, if you made me pick a score right now, I'd probably go 42, 28, 45, 31, something like that. Darren Linson, good morning. Hey, Matt, enjoying your morning show? Let the guys at 104.5 know we're having trouble to get the stream over the 104.5 app this morning. It's not working. Darren, appreciate the heads up. Sorry about that. So, just so y'all know, we're implementing a new streaming service. So, the old one that was clunky and cumbersome and all that stuff, that like we're transitioning yesterday, today to a new. So that's what's happening there. I'll make sure they know because they want to know if there's any kinks like that. But it's going to be a much better user experience on the stream. Also, this is sort of a little inside baseball for you, but we used to have different. A different ad schedule for the stream as opposed to the radio. So you had to think of them as two different radio stations, right? So like when we went to break on radio and stream, they played different things. So on the stream, you'd have a lot of PSAs, and sometimes you'd clip the end of segments, and it was because it was two different softwares and they didn't really speak together, and so it was a clunky user experience. That's all going to be changed now because the stream will be simulcast radio, so the same thing you hear on radio, you hear on stream. It's the user experience listening on the app and online is just going to be much better. So it was a big push for New Year, and so appreciate the patience with that. Thank you for the heads up, and let us know if you do have any more issues. But it's going to be much better. So we're cracking a few eggshells right now, but we're going to make an omelet. It's going to be much better. Ryan Casey, good morning. Richie Burt saw the Carly Memorial video. Great insight to her personal life shared by the family. Yeah, they put together that video. I tweeted, or I posted it on my Facebook. Family put that together, and they played it during the reception after her funeral mass on Saturday. So it was really well done. Terry Shipman asks E-Rock Mardi Gras tree. Hey Terry, by the way, thanks for tweeting the pictures of your dead Soxy, man. Really appreciate that. They have been blown away. They Dead Soxy like literally sold out of their purple and gold line. So they had to make another shipment order to restock because y'all bought them all. So that's awesome, man. And you know, I've told y'all before, I've never cared about socks before in my life. Erica would just go get the 12 pack for $3 or whatever, whatever. Wear them until they have holes in them. Man, I put those on and stylish, comfortable, just higher quality. They'll last forever. They don't slip. They stay up. They're just better. They're awesome. So I'm hooked on them. So thank you to everybody who's bought Dead Soxy. Remember, if you want them, promo code GO GEAUX, you'll save 30%. So make sure because like it's pricier than a regular pair of socks. So make sure you use that promo code so you get the most value. Keith Duplessis, Michael Buchanan, security is going to be crazy with the insane stuff going on right now. Get there 5 hours. I don't know if you need 5 hours, but if I were going to the game as a fan, I would get in line at least an hour before kickoff. Like that would be my target. I'm going to get in line an hour before kickoff. Linda Denicola, good morning. Stephanie Cortez, good morning. Love the Saints rant on Sunday. I'm not sure I ranted, Stephanie. I think I more just was sitting depressed in my bedroom in a chair. Keith, have you announced where you plan to film the pregame show? We will be in Champion Square. So all of our shows on Monday, from OTB to Sports Today to Hester to AFR, Monday, every 7 a.m. to 6 p.m., all live from Ochsner, whatever, in Champion Square. Keith Duplessis from Yellowstone National Park. Hey, man, thanks for watching out there. You think LSU mixes tempo, pedal on the gas early, slows it down? I think they do what they've done all year. Nobody stopped it. Cassidy Russo, they are not going to play ball control, Kurt. Right? No way. But that way. Jeff Stipe. Hello, Kevin. Man, I hope not. Hit hard. Matt, I don't see that link for Brock you point to over here. Oh, you're probably watching on your phone. That's why. So, like, I'm looking at it on my tablet. So I have the screen. Like, as I look at it, I have the screen on the right side of my screen. I have the stream of comments and the head and the title of the post. So when I point right there, that's where it's titled. So actually, if you're on your phone and you're looking in landscape mode, you probably have to tap your screen. It should drop down from the top. Let's see, Ronnie, thanks for sharing the Andy Grammer thing. I hadn't heard. It gave me goosebumps, made me want to cry at the same time. Yeah, if y'all missed it, man, I mentioned this at the end of the show yesterday, and I didn't know. Someone pointed out to me over the weekend at Carly's funeral. So you probably know the last thing that she posted on social media we've talked about were the lyrics to the Andy Grammer song. Only rainbows after rain, the sun will always come again, which is amazing. That's because she never posted stuff like that, but it was literally the last thing she ever posted. It was her Instagram story on that Saturday morning. And when I saw it, I kind of back timed it. It would have been around 8 o'clock. It would have been sometime around 8 o'clock. It was probably about sometime in that hour before the plane took off. Anyway, well, Andy Grammer apparently got wind of it, and so he posted a video on his Instagram to the McCord family, and he sang that part of the song. So, and we played it yesterday on AFR. It was really cool. So, kudos to Andy Grammer. Really, really cool thing to do. Ed Reader, good morning. Pat Huseman, even the Dead Soxy no-shows are balling, y'all. They do not slip. So I have some no-shows. So I bought a bunch of them, and I have the no-shows too. I haven't worn them yet, though, so I need to. Rick Hauk, good morning. Jason Aguilar, next song 100% when we kick Clemson's tail. They're not going to do it. I'd love it, but they're not going to do it. Let's see. Kevin Gleason, when I wear no-shows, that's what I want. There you go. And Craig Savoy, all right, y'all, we are done. We are done. Please hit the share if you've not done so yet. Locked on LSU, the Riot Podcast returns today. So first Riot Podcast of 2020 today, noon Central on the 104.5 ESPN Baton Rouge Facebook page. So hopefully y'all can join us for that. So Locked On, Riot Podcast, and then AFR 3 o'clock. Rohan Davey, Larry Holder, Fineswog returns, talking some beer, mostly just to troll everybody. And we'll see what else we come up with, man. Looking forward to it. Y'all have an awesome day. See ya. Peace. Shout out to Brock. They're tagging the post. Please like them. Brock. See ya.